Popular music in Nigeria has long been an integral part of the field of African pop, bringing in influences and instruments from many ethnic groups. The earliest styles of Nigerian popular music were palm wine music, Afrobeat, and highlife. While Afrobeat was made popular by the late Fela Kuti, generation of artists after him like Alex Zito, Alex O, DZK Falola, Onyeka Onwenu, Christy Essien, Ese Agese, Charlie Boy, Raskimono, Mandatas, Majek Fashek, and many others took to pop and reggae music to express themselves musically. As the years went by, African sound became less distinct with Ghanaian hip life and Nigerian Niger beats. Both rooted in the pervasive influence of hip-hop got more popular, but still with a hint of Afrobeat. This was the beginning of the music genre now being called Afrobeats.
I feel that it is time and generation. Like in our generation, like me, in my own time, I found out that there was this type of music that people were playing, but I wanted something that would be my own, that they can call my own, that is Galala, you know. I decided that I would build something from street life, and convert it into what people that don't know anything about the streets can identify with.
While the origins of Afrobeats is traced to Africa, it's impossible to say which artists made the genre popular.
People will say Fela started Afrobeat, but I have read a bit of history to know that it didn't actually start from Fela, but Fela had to adopt it, and Fela was actually the one that popularized it. Same thing with reggae music. Same thing with a whole lot of types of music that we do.
One of Nigeria's major experts after crude oil today is music. It's no longer news that Nigeria's music has gone global with international recognized artists like Wizkid, Yemi Alade, Tiwa Savage, D'banj, Davido, and P-Square now performing before fully packed venues.
This is a name that is gaining ground. Now, Wizkid is doing collaborations with Drake. These are people that they're the top of the tree. When D'banj was doing Endowed remix with Snoop Dogg, Snoop Dogg was on top of the tree. You know, these are the top people in the world. We didn't give a name to it then.
When you can't write your own script, when you are not writing your own truth, people will write whatever they perceive you to be. So the perception they have, since the sound you are creating, you don't have a name for it. And the best they could do is, okay, let us look for something that represents Africa. Is Afro. What are they doing? Is a beat. So they merge it together as Afrobeat, not knowing that we already have a genre that we call Afrobeat.
With the acceptance of Nigeria's popular music by a global audience comes the challenge of proper labeling. It is not uncommon to hear many calling sounds coming from Nigeria Afrobeats. This has, however, thrown up a question as to whether the name is the true representation of today's sound or a disservice to Afrobeat as originally crafted by Fela.
I've heard of issues where people try to define the music that we do in Nigeria as Afrobeat. And while we were growing up in the 80s, 70s, 80s and all of that, we know Afrobeat to be the genre of music that Fela introduced to us.
Particularly the word Afrobeats. I was in opposition before, and I think I've moved from opposition to being on the fence, not in total agreement with it. I didn't like it because I'm a Fela child. I grew up with Fela. I know that Afrobeat without the S is Fela's music.
What is known as Afrobeat, you know, from how Afrobeat was created by Fela Kuti. Now, if some guys are, tagging it or labeling it Afrobeat there, and we here are also taken from them, with our big media industry, I think it is wrong.
Is it right or wrong to describe the music of the likes of Castro, May 7, Fuse ODG, Wizkid, Davido, Nneka, Afrobeats or Afrobeat? Does labeling the sound help its growth or box it? Does it help maintain its unique identity? Well, whatever divide you're on, there should be no argument that Nigeria's contribution to popular culture, especially in music, should not be de-emphasized with labeling.
Generalizing is what I'm not cool with. You get what I'm trying to say? So you can't say everybody's doing Afrobeats. You get what I'm saying? But it's the name that everybody is calling it now, and they're doing that because we've not been able to define these genres on our own differently. Do you get what I'm saying? Because even Even me at some point, some interviews, when they ask me, I'll be like, yeah, it's Afrobeats because it's what everybody calls it right now.
It has gotten to the point where people like Swiss Beats, Alicia Keys, Drake, P. Diddy, Jay-Z, they are now using the word Afrobeats. I'm not saying those are the people that will now concrete it. It's going to get away from us. In fact, I think the word has already gotten away from us.
Whether it's with Afrobeat or Afrobeats, it's not just an African sound anymore. It's a global movement. Let's allow the music to play on.